Well, shooters and reloaders out there, today we're going to load 44 Special using those 240 grain semi-wide cutter Lee bullets that have been powder coated with Harbor Freight Red. And notice how nice and clean these brass cases are after having gone through the wet tumbling. And notice the inside also, very clean. Almost polished inside. Well, this is Fortune Cookie 45LC coming to you from the hot lead zone. Let's get busy. First order of business is to size those bullets to 429 because we want to go ahead and do that for this 44 Special loading project. Now I load these bullets in 44 Magnum without sizing, but for the 44 Special that's well known for accuracy, let's go ahead and size the bullets to 429, and this will give me a chance to use the Lee 429 sizing kit. You put the little post there right into the shell holder position, and then that drives the bullets through the sizing die that Lee provides into the receptacle cup. So you can see it at work here, very simple. Just put a bullet right on the little post there. Doesn't have to be perfectly centered, just get it on there somewhere, because the die has a beveled entry. Well, isn't that just a dandy way to size powder-coated bullets? Fast, easy, and actually fun. Well, it turns out that some reloaders and casters actually take a inexpensive press and they mount it upside down so that they can just drop a bullet into the die there and then put the bullets through and size them faster because they don't have to put them on the little pedestal. So you see, there's my blue dot powder. Don't have much left. I use it for slugs, but not enough to do slugs with. So good for 10 grain loads of 44 Special though. Some of my slug loads would take over four times that amount of powder, so you can load 4 times as many more handgun rounds as you can slug rounds. So that's why I haven't been doing any blue dot in slug. Now you know that the brass has been resized and decapped already. So we need to prime them and then go ahead and run the mouth flare neck expansion. We're using Tula large pistol Magnum primers. So we'll put a primer into the Lee priming arm and then seat the primer, and then we'll run the case up to get a charge, and we'll see what we got here. Weigh it. 5.6 grains. So we'll adjust it for 10 and get back to you. So we gave it 4.5 turns on this key, and that should put us pretty close to 10. Now I'll just go ahead and throw out the first one, reject it, and now let's measure it. 10.5. So you see, this is pretty accurate to make the adjustments. So now we're going to take it back down 5 or a half a grain, which is a half a turn. So we'll throw another charge, reject that one because we're making the chamber here smaller, so it's compressing the powder that's already in there. That charge won't be any good. So now this is the accurate one. Let's go ahead and re-zero that, and 9.7, so got to split the difference. There it is, 10 grains. So we're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and verify every 10th charge. So here we go. You don't need this to see all 10, so I'll go ahead and skip ahead. So here are the last two. Put a primer in. Ten point oh. I'm getting a feeling that I dropped my notebook. Let's prime it first. That's what happens when you get a distraction. 9.9. Well, let's do this. We were checking every 10th one, which is the last row here. Let's choose the middle row and check those out. So we'll take this one here. This is the 5th row from the left. And we'll come up here. Ten grains. And every time I talk to it, it'll fluctuate plus a tenth. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one back in. Well, let's do it this way. We'll take the next one, which is that one. We'll zero this. And measure that one. 10 to 10.1, 10. Okay. Then let's come over here and take this one. Zero that. Dump that one in. 9.9 or 10 is fine. Let's go to the next one. That's this one. You see it's settling at 10. We'll zero that. Throw that one in. And then come over here and choose that one. Zero that. And then measure that one. I think the Lee Auto Drum powder measure likes blue dot powder. Now I'll just go ahead and recharge the ones that I just did. So I always like to measure the last one I did. So there's those 5 that I just recharged. And we'll take the very last one and we'll measure it. We're good. You know, some of you out there are reporting the Lee Auto Drum not being as accurate and throwing like 3/10, 4/10 variation. But let me tell you, the 3 that I have, they're good for like 1/10 total variation. Now I still would weigh for long range precision rifle, but for any handgun application, these things are just marvelous. I think these are game changers, but maybe I've been lucky. I got 3 good ones, but a lot of you out there are getting good results also, but there are some of you out there that are kind of struggling with this thing. All I can say is, if you're having a struggle with them, you ought to send it back to Lee and see if they'll send you another one. You'll probably get a good one. You know, that's what we like. 50 rounds only use that much powder. If I were doing slugs, the whole thing would be empty and I'd have to add more. You know, some of you out there are reporting the Lee Auto Drum not being as accurate and throwing like 3/10, 4/10 variation. But let me tell you, the 3 that I have, they're good for like 1/10 total variation. Now I still would weigh for long range precision rifle, but for any handgun application, these things are just marvelous. I think these are game changers, but maybe I've been lucky. I got 3 good ones, but a lot of you out there are getting good results also, but there are some of you out there that are kind of struggling with this thing. All I can say is, if you're having a struggle with them, you ought to send it back to Lee and see if they'll send you another one. You'll probably get a good one. So as is our custom, we went ahead and placed a bullet on every expanded case mouth, and now we're ready to go ahead and seat the bullets using our Lee cedar die, but no crimping. Now this Lee cedar die has a pretty sharp corner here, so it's not quite beveled as well as it should be for easy entry of semi-wad cutter bullets. So we just had to take it a little slow getting the semi-wad cutter shoulder past this. If the bullet was a little bit off angle at all, it would kind of hang up on there, but even then the powder coat was tough enough that it did not get damaged when that happened. So I went ahead, just felt it go by feel, and when it slides by, then we're good. So we seated, but we did not use the crimp that's in the body of this to do any crimping. So there's the Lee factory crimp die, and we gave it a half a turn of crimp. And there are all the finished rounds. Show those bullets to you from the back side. They look good from any angle. They look pretty good. Let's take a few of them out and show them to you in the hand. So there you go. They didn't need to be wiped off or anything. They came right out of the press just like this. And nice looking ammo. Gonna enjoy shooting those at the range. Bye for now.